My favorite motion graphics animation project was making slideshows. So hello internet, this is Randy from Rhandz Graphix. Today, I am very honored to show it to you guys how to create a very organized folding photo slideshows in After Effects. Let's start by importing all the assets inside After Effects by clicking File, Import, File, and find the assets where you stored it. Me on the Downloads folder, and then choose the folder and Import folder. So now the assets are here inside. I will create the new composition and I will name it Main 1. 1920 1080p and then 30 frames per second, and the duration is 10 seconds and the background will be black. Click OK, and then I will create another composition and I will name it Final. Same composition and I will click OK. I will again create another composition and I will name it Frame, and this time I will use 2000 pixels by 2000 pixels. Same 30 frames per second and the duration is 10 seconds. The background is black and click OK. I will again create another composition and I will name it Back, and the same configuration here, and again I will create another new composition and I will name it Placeholder 1, and I will click OK. Now we have done making the compositions. All we need to do is to open the frame and go to Shape tool, double click it, and as you can see here there's a stroke, but before doing it make sure that the fill is disabled and the stroke is enabled. The color of the stroke is white and the size of the stroke is 100 pixels. So I will open the back and I will create a layer, a solid layer, and the color will be like this, light blue, and I will call it Back, and I will click OK. Now we are done here, so we will open the Placeholder 1 and drop down the frame and then duplicate it 5 times by clicking Ctrl D, and then highlight the placeholder 2 to 6 so we can add our photos in each placeholder that we made. I will first go to the placeholder 1, drop down the image. I'm using this photo 1 because we are making the scene one first. Drop it down, scale it down to about 60%, drag it down until you are satisfied on its position, and then open placeholder 2, drop down the photo, click S for the scale to scale it down 60% again, and then click placeholder 3 and then click it down again, press S to scale it down. I don't want you guys to wait, okay? So now we are done putting all the photos inside our placeholders. All we have to do now is to open the main and drag placeholder 1, and then drag the back composition 2, and then highlight all, turn the 3D on for the 3D layers, and then press S to scale it down to about 30%. Press P for the position of the back. Make a change on this value to about 5 pixels on the Z position. And then after that one, all you have to do is to parent this to the placeholder 1. Click the placeholder 1, move it to the right side most of your canvas, zoom out a bit. After this one, all we have to do is to duplicate these 2 layers and move these duplicated layers on top of the placeholder 1, and highlight the placeholder 1 and highlight the placeholder 2. Press the key Alt and hold it and drag it down to the placeholder 1 so it creates 2 placeholder. And then after that, we will move the placeholder image here on the left side and move it a bit until such time that the photos are very close to each other. Change the position of the anchor point on this side, on the right side, right? By the way, I used easy tools for changing the position of the anchor point because it's easier. It's a free script from easy tools. And then open placeholder 2 and click the R for rotation. Move your playhead to about 2 seconds and then create a keyframe, and then go to start and change the value here for about -179. Let's see what will happen. So it's good to me. Now we will have to ease this one by pressing F9. Duplicate these layers again and then move it on top of placeholder 2. Highlight the placeholder to 3, press Alt, hold it and drag it to placeholder 2. And we will move the image on the left side. and move this image like this. After moving the image, we will parent this placeholder 3 to placeholder 2. I'll highlight this 2 and move it forward, and then move your playhead until such time that the picture is revealing, and then move your highlighted layers. Look at that. So you will do the same. All you have to do is to again duplicate it and then move it upwards, highlight the placeholder 3 and then highlight the placeholder 4, and before dragging it down, press the Alt and hold it, and then drag it down to change the placeholder 3. Then you have to release the key where you pressed and hold the Alt. What we will do is to again move the image on the other side like that. Make sure that your image is really very close with the other image that you want to be with each other. I'm gonna parent this placeholder 4 to placeholder 3 and then highlight both of them and then move your layers on this side, then move again your layer until such time that the image placeholder 3 is almost gone. Press the open bracket key and now you can see that the photos are now folding. So we will do this until such time we completed the placeholder 6. So I will just fast forward it, guys. So we are now done with our animation on the scene 1. So let's try to play it and let's see what happens. Cool. So now I will create a folder and I will name it scene 1 by clicking this icon here. And then I will highlight it all, the compositions that I made except the final, and I will drag it down to scene 1. Again, I will create another folder and I will name it scene 2. This scene 2 folder, we will put the duplicated compositions in here. So all we have to do is to highlight it all in the composition scene 1 and then duplicate it and then drag it down to scene 2 folder and then highlight all the placeholders, double click it to open, and then we will replace all the photos in here. First I will open the placeholder 7, delete this photo, and then I will open the image again here and use the scene 2 photos. I will start by dragging down the photo number 7, scale it up or maybe down, and then move it a bit. Open the placeholder 8 again, delete the image here to replace it with the photo number 8. Press S to scale it down. To 60%, and I think that's okay. I will open the placeholder 9 and delete first the image here, and then I will drag down the image 9. Press S to scale it 60%. I think that's okay, and I will fast forward it, guys, so that you will not wait. So we are now finished with replacing all the photos on our scene 2 folder. So all we have to do is to open the main, delete these all, drag down the placeholder 7 and the back again, make it 3D layers and press P for the back too, and then make it 5 pixels, and then highlight the 2 again, press S to scale it down 30%, and then highlight the placeholder 7 and then parent this layer, parent to placeholder 7. You can now drag the image on this side. And then duplicate it. At this time you have, instead of moving it up, you have to move it down. And then highlight the placeholder 7, highlight the 8, and then press the Alt and hold while dragging down the placeholder 8 to change the placeholder 7. After duplicating it, be sure to move the image on the right side like this, and again make sure that your photos will be close to the other photos like that, and then move the anchor point on this side again so you can create a rotation. So all you have to do, highlight placeholder 8 and then press R for rotation. Go to 2 seconds. And then make a keyframe on the Y rotation. And then move your playhead on the start and make it 179. So when you move your playhead, hey, whoa. So highlight this all and press F9 to ease it. So now we have to highlight these two and then duplicate it again and move these layers down. Highlight the placeholder 8 and highlight the placeholder 9 and then press the Alt key while holding it and then drag the placeholder 9 and replace the placeholder 8 and then move the placeholder 9 on the right side like this like that and then parent the placeholder 9 to placeholder 8 and highlight these two and move it forward and then move your playhead until such time that the placeholder 8 will be revealing and then press open bracket key. Again we will duplicate it and move these layers down and then highlight the 9 and highlight the 10 and then press the Alt while holding it. Drag the placeholder 10 to replace the placeholder 9. We have to move the placeholder 10 again to the right side. I think it's okay for me, so parent this placeholder 10 to placeholder 9 and then highlight these two, move this forward until such time that this placeholder 9 will start revealing its photos. So we have to press the open bracket key and you can see that this is now what happened. Nice, see. So I will again pass forward, guys. So now we are done with our scene 2 and we will try to play it. Let's see what happens. Cool. So now we are done with our scene 2. All we have to do is to open the final and open the scene here. Drag the main one and also open the scene 2 folder. Drag the main 2. So now you can see it's already there. So all we have to do is to highlight it and press S to scale it down. I would love to make it 75%, I guess, to make it smaller. And then highlight this again and then press P for the position because I want to change the position. Make this one both a 3D layer. I will drag it down by adjusting this value here so it will be a bit lower, and then the other one too I will adjust it on top so it's easier, and then move it at the corner. Oops, we have to also uh, check the pasteurization switch too, and then make it a 3D layer. We will try to play it again. There you go. And then after this one, we will add some elements on it, like my footage right here on the assets. I will drag down the texture first, make the texture fit to comb, transform, and then fit to comb, and then control space to reveal the FX console, and type in motion tile, and then click it. So the motion tile for the texture that we have is here already, so I want the output width to be 500 and the output height 500, and then I will create a camera. Click layer, new camera. I will just use 35mm preset camera, and then again I will create a null object. I will make sure that this null object is a 3D layer by pressing this icon in here, and then parent the camera to the null object, and then open the null object by pressing R for the rotation, and then I will change the X value. Make sure also that the texture is a 3D layer so that you can move it using the null object. So press the R for rotation. So I will change the X rotation to about this, and then highlight the two and press the P position, move it upward a bit, that should be enough. This is the scene one or the main one, so I have to make it a bit closer to the edge. And if we will play this one, let's see. Now I'm gonna create a light, spotlight first. And I want the intensity to be 100. And I will click OK. And then I will open the spotlight to the light options. Change the shadow darkness to about 50%. And then the diffusion probably 15%. And then I will close it and open the transform. Here I will adjust the position of the light. Move the point interest, something like this. There you go, and then I'm good on it, and then I think that's good. I will create again another light, which is the ambient light, and I will just put the intensity to about 30%. I will click OK. I will go to main and then highlight all the placeholders by pressing key control. I will highlight it all and open the material options, and I will turn on the cast shadows. Same with the main two. I will highlight all the placeholders and open the material options, and I will turn on the cast shadows. So we are now done with our lightings. We will add another asset here, the free overlay. I'll just put it on top of this one and then transform it to Photoform and make the blending mode add. Click the free overlay, press T for the opacity, and then I will just make it 30%. And so now we are done with our animations. I hope guys you get some techniques on how to do it, and don't forget to comment below if you have any questions or suggestions, and subscribe, like, and press the notification bell so that you will be always updated with our new videos. So the thoughts for today guys is that never give up, just be positive. So thank you guys for watching, and God bless.